Another incident afterwards was when my father and two others had more or less overcome the difficulties of speaking Chinook. A Yorkshireman came out to New Westminster and made their acquaintance, Jim Holroyd by name, and was staying with them at their cabin on Burrard Inlet. Holroyd, later Victoria, of course knew nothing of Chinook, but had read a great deal about the scalping proclivities of the North American Indian. There was a grindstone set out in front of the cabin, for grinding axes and tools, and as my father and the others were very friendly with the Indians were allowed to use it, a privilege which they appreciated. Early one morning, before anyone was out of bed, a noise was heard outside the cabin, and Holroyd asked somewhat anxiously, "What's that? What's that?" Father replied, "Oh, don't pay attention. I expected some of those Indians around. Go to sleep." But no more sleep for Mr. Holroyd if Indians were in the vicinity. He got out of the bed and got ready for action. He opened the door about an inch, peeped out, and saw the ugliest looking Siwash with an axe in his hand standing beside the grindstone. The Siwash grinned, which made matters worse. It was enough to scare any greenhorn from Yorkshire. Holroyd slammed the door and bolted it, called out to the father, "Indians, John, and they've got their tomahawks, and they're bound gonna scalp us." Knowing that there was no danger, Father smiled and said to Jim, "They're only going to grind their axes." But Holroyd was not so sure, and made up his mind that there was going to be no axe grinding by savages while he was lying in bed. His faith in Father's assurances was completely outbalanced by the blood-curdling yarns he had read. He got quite excited and said to Father, "What have I got to say to those fellows? They've got to go." Father said, "Open the door and say Mika, Clattawah," which in Chinook means go away. Holroyd opened the door, and about 1 inch, peeped through the crack, and roared with the full force of his lungs, "Michael, clatter away, damn thee!" The Indians enjoyed his speech immensely. They grinned still more and went on grinding.